you can destock your stock, but if you don't destock the goats, it's nearly a waste of time. We're at Kia Ora station. We're 72 k's southwest of Cobar. It's 17,800 hectares and we're predominantly grazing. So we've got this paddock here now and I've just had my sheep in and I've taken them out, but I can't get all the goats out. All right, you've taken the big bulk of sheep out, but you've still got goats going through eating out the sweeter areas, so they do still affect the total grazing area. So you've really got to try and get it all out. We have found that they have grazers out pretty heavily because it come to a point when we had to destock, and it was mainly through goats that we had to destock, and it was a pretty traumatic time at the time having to destock when you just bred a mob up. So I said, well, the goats have got to go. In the early years we were here, it wasn't totally fenced in the hinge joint, which we've done in the last 5 or 6 years. So since we've done that, we've found our stock rates have gone up. For starters, we've hinge jointed the whole property in TGP fencing, and it's 8, 90, 70 with a plane and a barb on top and a barb on the bottom. We've done that to try and totally stop our stock going out for starters, because we've got Dorper sheep. There's people around here that run merinos, so they don't want our Dorpers, and stop the goats coming in. They're very good fences, but they're very expensive to put up. We wanted to go into a bit like cell grazing, but the hinge joint, all our internal paddocks was just going to be too expensive, so we looked into going electric. We've gone into 3-wire electric fence, so it's 2 hot wires, top and bottom, and an earth in the middle, and it's about 600 high. We're very happy with it so far. We've got cattle on it, we've got Dorper sheep on it, we've got Damara sheep on it, and we've got goats on it. And they all seem to be staying pretty much where they should. The dams that are in those other paddocks were all trapped, so we got a pretty good range of fencing to manage those goats. Yeah, when goats are controlled, what we've noticed is there's grass there that you just didn't think was there. It's just amazing. Like when we first did our total grazing pressure fences around the boundary of the hinge joint, looking through to the neighbours, and he just did nothing different to what we do, but we just didn't have any goats out in that back area, and we had feed up a knee high within 12 months, and on the other side there was nothing. It was just incredible. And then all of a sudden all your panic grasses and wild oat grass and all that sort of come back. It was just unbelievable. A lot more summer grasses now that I didn't think was in this country when I first come here. I thought it was just virtually spear grass. All the herbage and curly umbrella grasses, and yeah, it's just a variety of different things that you never saw before. Some of those little blue flowers that you didn't see before. And the goats must like them because they weren't there. It's definitely retaining a lot more moisture and probably building up a bit of carbon and everything in the soil for us too. The people who are running the full-time goat operation, that's virtually all they're running goats instead of sheep. They run their goats like I run our crossbred lambs and fat lamb jobs. So they're moving their goats around the same way as we're moving our sheep around from paddock to paddock. But they've got to do it on a bigger scale property than what we've got, because goats don't do as well in smaller areas. It takes a lot longer to get a goat to the right body weight to get the price you want. What we do with our feral goats on our property, we sell a lot of them off when we get them into the trap yard, just wherever the opportunity is to make the best dollars out of what we've got. But most of the goats on here are just a one-way ticket, they're out. I think there's more money in fat lambs or wool or something like that than a goat on this place. If they're eating the native pasture, we aren't making $1 for ourselves either with our lambs or whatever we're into. Hopefully with what we've done in our TGP fencing, it should help us a fair bit, because we can monitor paddocks and say, well, they're getting down. We've either got to start destocking our own stock to keep those grasses there, or we'll move them around, and if we come around again and it's not looking good, we'll totally destock. So I think it's going to help us manage it a lot better for the next drought. It's managing what's on the ground all the time.